This content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. The Better Traders is not a broker dealer. We are not an investment advisor. We have no access to non-public information about publicly traded companies or cryptocurrencies. And this is not a place for the giving or receiving of financial advice, advice concerning investment decisions, or tax or legal advice. The value of investments and the income derived from them can go down as well as up. Investors may not get back the amount they invested, and past performance is not a guide to future performance. Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Moon and Papa, and Huey are hanging out. The super loud music. I forgot to turn it down. That's much better right there. Good. So, how's it going? It's me, Moon and Papa, your friendly neighborhood Papa, and I am a 3 Commas ambassador. I have course on the Better Traders, you know, all that stuff from my real videos. This is live because I would never crank the music up like that to have. No, don't worry, it's not gonna happen. But before I get going, go ahead and drop me a line in the chat to let me know that you can hear me. I'm pretty sure you can, but it always just helps me to feel a little bit better knowing that you guys can hear me. So I know that there's like a 60-second delay on the video, and that's totally fine. So I'll wait. No, I'm gonna keep going. So in these weekly live streams that I have on YouTube, every single week at this time, for me it's Thursday at 11 a.m. Thanks, Brad, for letting me know the audio is good. Thank you. So if you want to be reminded when the next one is going to be, you're going to have to click here. It says set reminder, and that way you will. Oh, I have to fix the time for that one. That one's wrong. But anyway, it's every single Thursday at 11 a.m. Japan Standard Time, which means that it is typically 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like New York, which would then make it what, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just talking about people in North America. Sorry, people in Europe, I believe it's very late at night. So if not like past midnight. So if you're here hanging out, that's awesome. It's great. It's great to see you here. I am going to be talking basically the entire time about Bitcoin and the exciting stuff that I see on the markets. So I want to preface all this just to, oh, please increase the sound. It's loud. It should be okay-ish. I can make it a little bit louder, but I don't want to make it too much louder. Hello. Just kidding. So anyway, I know that I posted a video earlier this week, and the tone of that video might have been scary for some, and it's still that outcome is still possible. It's still possible for Bitcoin to drop down to 20K. It's not my desire at all. I hope that you guys understood that from the video, that I'm not wanting that to happen. If anything, I'd rather have my previous video about Bitcoin taking off by the end of next month, moving up because of Bitcoin dominance shooting up. That's what I'm more excited about happening. But even though we're seeing a nice boost in volume on the markets, just understand that anything can happen. So if you're in the green right now, the important thing is to protect any positions that you have in profit, so that way, in case the market drops suddenly or some terrible news comes out or whatever, it happens, just make sure that you protect your profits. I'll give you a good example. If you've opened up a couple of trades, like 3, 4, 5, even like 10 trades, and they all happen to be in profit, chances are it's one of the two. One, you're amazing. Way to go. Two, it's alt season and pretty much everything is mooning. Everything is moving up higher. When you see everything, all of your trades in profit and they're all looking really good, that is a really stressful time. You may not feel like it's stressful. You actually are going to feel really proud of yourself. Maybe proud, so proud that you want to share a screenshot of all your profits that are unrealized yet. Be really careful to protect any profit that you have. If that means you have to edit a trade on 3 commas on smart trade to move your stop loss up, that's fine. I actually have a couple of trades that are in the green right now that I want to move my stop loss up for. Let me just go ahead and open up 3 commas. It's taking a little bit of time to load. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and do this now before I talk about the market and all that stuff, but this is really important stuff to know. Okay, yes, and by the way, I know that I have my balance is visible here. I know that you can see everything. I decided a couple weeks ago that I'm just going to let people see what I'm doing. So it's not bothering me. If it bothers you, that's totally okay. And if you feel like, whoa, like I don't know if I could ever do that, that's okay. There is literally no pressure to do something like that. So just know that for me, I'm making this decision. You don't have to, and I don't recommend you share your balances with anybody. Okay, now that I've said that, I have a couple of deals here. This one got stopped out, and I placed a lower stopped out in profit, by the way, and it put a lower lower buy, but it actually went higher, so I have it duplicated down here. Where's GTC? So it's up 5%. So you can see I have these deals here. Not everything is rosy and green down below, so I am sharing with you, but not sharing everything. So the easy way to do this is to hit the drop down button right here, and you're going to go to edit, and we're going to edit this one deal for TRB. So we can open up the trading view chart so we can see TRB, and the reason I want to do that is because I want to see what the price action is doing, and also figure out where I should move my stop loss. So this chart is super duper whippy, and by the way, the reason I wasn't planning on showing this, but the reason why I chose TRB is actually because of something that I shared in the Better Traders Club. We have a couple of channels for, well, lots of different stuff, but one of them is for trade setups. So I posted this along with, I think, 5 or 6 other charts that are looking really similar. And the main thing I was looking for are these. These are our close short symbols from the TBO indicator. Even though it says TBO Pro, it'll be the same exact thing for the TBO, the normal version. So this typically signals or signifies the bottom, a confirmation or an early confirmation of the bottom. We actually see this on BTC. We saw it back here where they're saying this is the bottom, and it took a while for it to show it as a green open long. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I decided to take a position in that. So now that those are in the green and the market is still very unstable and I don't know what could happen next, I want to move up my stop loss. So I do have the ability in 3 commas to use something really cool called move to break even. You'll note that I don't have it enabled there, but move to break even essentially happens when the price moves up to my take profit target 1. And once this is hit, then my stop loss automatically gets moved up to my buy price. That means that if the price happens to fall down to my entry again, that means that instead of it falling and falling and falling and having my stop loss be down here and get stopped out in a loss, I'll get stopped out in profit or break even, as the tool is titled. So for now, I'm actually feeling okay with this, and I want to be more conservative because I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to put my stop loss up here into the profit zone just a little bit. That's probably a little, actually not enough. So this looks okay. It's probably too tight, to be completely honest, but again, I would much rather protect my profits. So what, and then when you're done with that, hit save changes and it's done. So when do you do this? You do this when you look at the charts and make a decision. Don't wait for a specific percentage to be hit. And if you're using break even, it automatically does it for you, which is great. But if you're not using break even, or you're trading manually on an exchange, you're crazy for one. But when you know that you're in the profit, or in the green, as I say, you want to move your stop loss up just to protect your portfolio. Even if it falls down and you get stopped out with 1% profit, I guarantee you would much rather have 1% profit instead of 1% loss. So as a freebie there, I wasn't planning on talking about that at all. So I see a question from you, Satronaut. I'll get to that at the end. So I want to jump into TradingView to talk about what I'm seeing and what I'm really excited about. So the exciting thing is that Bitcoin, something I've been waiting for quite a while. And I actually talked about this back in February in our live streams, where I was saying, well, I was really excited to see these orange dots because these are our close short symbols. And the next thing I was waiting for is one of these. Now it took a long time, 47 days. So back here in our bearish summer of 2021, we have the same setup. We have a close short, cross up, open long. Now if we go to where we are here, close short, cross up, open long. It's definitely much more spread out. So here is my take on this. As excited as I am to see confirmation, not only of the, if we do this, not just because we have a TBA open long, but there's also, also the fact that we've broken above our trend line and we're actually making new highs. So you can see that we've done this fan pattern, and I'll go ahead and hide everything else so you can see it just really clearly. So these trend lines drawn on the daily time frame show us our initial resistance, which is broken above. And then we have a secondary one, third, fourth, fifth, and you can see how the price reacts to it every single time. It's important. So we are above 40K, which is great. We are above this trend line. That is great. The TBO is open long. Things are just looking amazing. The RSI is looking awesome for BTC too. I've talked about this for a couple of months now. You can check the other or the older live streams. RSI peaked on February 9th at 79.75. You can see the number right there. And then we drew a trend line down. It went higher. And then now it's broken above and it's popped above again. So this is amazing. This shows so much strength in the price action of Bitcoin right now. This is awesome. This is great news. But it's funny because there's more happening behind the scenes that I've already shared in the Better Traders Club, and I keep talking about that, and it's not fair to just talk about it and not explain what it is. So the Better Traders Club is basically a private Discord server that has tons of features like the DCA backtester, has signals that I'll be talking about. It also has TBG forecaster, all that stuff. But I post a lot more updates there. You'll note that I'm pretty quiet on Twitter. I post like once or twice a week. I should probably post more, but I'm trying to post daily and post a lot of stuff on the private server more because that's a paid service. So I want to dedicate more time to the people that are in that service. So if you want to get more updates from me about the market, more tools, more signals, custom-made DCA bots that I know perform well because of the DCA backtester, the club is where it's at. So I have posted a couple of things that are really interesting about what's happening in the market, not just for Bitcoin, but for other tokens. So there is lots of good stuff happening with BTC. Now, I want to be honest with you and say that we could see it flip down to be an open short. It does do this sometimes. It's not unusual. And I want to go way back in time here. So when we have periods like this, where it's just kind of sideways movement, it's normal for the TBO to show open short, open long, open short, open long, and then open short, then open long. I get it. It's true. So we can't just use that one indicator. So I want to look at other things like RSI. Is RSI continuing to grow in strength? Yes, there is a super clear trend line right here. It's actually impressive to me at how steep, how much of an incline this is. It's amazing. So eventually it's going to be exhausted. Eventually this move could the RSI is going to drop. So that's what I'm watching for right now. I'm not going to touch this line yet, but every single time we see a recovery bounce like this, RSI peaked here at 89, super overbought, and then it just started to drop. That's normal, even on a big move like this. If we go back to 2020 in October and November, RSI here peaked at 90 on the daily, then 91, and you could see it slowly started to fall down. And when I say slowly, I mean super duper slowly, but you can see that there is a trend in place. It's hard to see when it's like this, but it's easier to see when it's like this. So it's normal for the RSI to eventually get exhausted and to fall down, just like it did right here when we had this little pullback here on the 26th of November. See, RSI dropped to 40, even though the price had already moved up like 69%, 70%. We can still have pullbacks, which will reset the RSI. And the RSI might look like it's getting weak, but just remember that if we're in a strong trend, according to the TBO, and what I mean by strong trend is looking at the cloud and looking at the direction of all these lines. If we see something like that, which we don't yet, that's going to be even more bullish confirmation. So right now we're still coming out of it. The last thing I'll say about the TBO is that this indicator has 4 different moving averages in it. So there is this bright colored line right here, which is the TBO fast line. Then we have medium fast, medium slow, and then slow at the top. This is the first line that will always turn green because it's the fast line. So note that it will also turn red before everything else does too. So we still have this lagging line up here at 47,000, okay? And we're not out of the woods yet. There's still a lot of resistance above us, even though our trend lines have been conquered so far, which is great. So I'm excited to see this, but I'm also hesitant. I'm actually seeing more excitement in altcoins and Ethereum, to be honest, compared to what Bitcoin is doing. It's really interesting. The market has changed so much where Bitcoin still leads the pack. It still directs the energy and the inertia of the crypto market, but alts now can do whatever they want. I mean, if you've been paying attention at all to the crypto charts, it makes literally no sense why Bitcoin Cash has been on a tear. What do you mean? Well, we had this triple bottom and Bitcoin Cash moved up 40%. This is Bitcoin Cash. This is, I think, maybe the second fork of Bitcoin. I want to say, no, it has to be later, but it is a fork of Bitcoin. There's no use case to it at all. I know there's some communities that love Bitcoin Cash, but I mean, there's nothing really to this. Why? Or even looking at Cardano is moving up. Cardano is having a huge surge, not just in popularity, but also in price action. But note that for all of you giddy Cardano holders, please understand that it's also done this before. It's done it, let me get my rectangle. It's done it right here. It's done it right here. And it's also doing it right now, right here. Admittedly, we are at the biggest pulse right now. So this move from bottom to top, that's a 40% move. This move here, also 40. So if you were considering Cardano, just be careful and understand that patterns repeat. Now, there are some good things that I'm seeing, and this is going to be so similar for so many charts. If you have the TBO, you're going to see this close short symbol, and we're going to see a reversal in the price action for a lot of tokens. If I just go here to the Binance USDT watch list, I bet you that a lot of these tokens are just going to be super duper green. And by the way, I have this watch list downloaded from TradingView through the Better Crypto Scanner, which is a free crypto scanner. I have videos about it already here on YouTube. Yes, I see in the chat too. Ethereum Classic? Why Ethereum Classic? Good grief. ETC is just blah. There's nothing to it. Why? It makes no sense. But anyway, if I want to get the entire watch list for Binance and I want to get the USDT market, then all I have to do is set it up like this. I want to get everything, and this gives me the entire USDT watch list for Binance. And then I can create a watch list, and then I import it over here to TradingView. Voila, I get all the trading pairs. So that's something that you need a paid TradingView account for. And if you're watching this video and you're already using 3Commas and these tools, you should probably just get at least the lowest tier for TradingView, just because it's such a great platform to use and it's essential for bot trading. It's essential for charting. It's fantastic. So yeah, even Ethereum Classic, I was shocked, honestly. Like, what the what? Why? So this is one of these funny things, and I don't even care about the news. It's just silly. There's no reason for all this volume. But one thing I do want to say about this, and let me switch to my YouTube watch list. There we go. One thing I will say about this is that when charts pump and Bitcoin's going sideways, when that one chart is pushed up enough that you see it at the top of the list to see the biggest movers for the day, respect the pump, watch it. And I'm not saying to trade it, I'm not saying to buy it, but I'm just saying don't try to guess the top, because whether or not there's news, whether or not the project is actually doing anything, if the market decides they want to buy this token, it's going to go up and up and up and up and up. So there's no reason in my mind why it's going up, and anything that shoots up this fast, you want to watch out for, because that is scary. That is just too fast, in my opinion. Shooting up one day 21%, the next day 12%, taking a break, and the next day 20%. That's a little scary to me. So I'm not touching that. On a faster time frame though, I bet you that TBO would have told us that it's taken off. Then we got our open long. Here we go, cross up. Oh, I was expecting to see more of these breakouts. Let's see the 4 hour. There we go. That looks more like it. When we see these breakouts in a row, then you know that you can take that and it'll go for a little bit of a ride still. That's always fun. So I want to also pull up some stuff here. Oh, I'm on the wrong time frame. There we go. So I'm going to take away my trend lines, get rid of that. So let's talk about just the TBO. I'm going to hide some volume. That way it's easier to see. So these white lines are based off of these lines that are shown on the TBO. So I've kind of averaged them visually. So you can see here, 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 and here, these 4 lines. They're in a general area, so I've added this resistance line here at 45K. So this line right here, I always pay attention to the longest historical resistance or support lines, even if it means I have to go back a year. Because we're on the daily time frame, it's not abnormal to go back a year to look at resistance and support lines. If anything, it's really good to do. I understand that short-term support and resistance is good, but we always want to be looking back to see what has happened and what can we take as strong and reliable. Okay, so we got resistance up here at 48, we have resistance at 52, and of course at 59, then at 70K essentially. So we're above 1, but we still have a long way to go. It's like I said, things are looking really good, but we are not out of it yet. There's still so much room to grow. So when we look at our Fibonacci lines, which is something I talk about a lot in the Smarter Trader course, which is an advanced active trading course, everyone's looking at fibs. So if you're not, you're missing out, because fibs predict where prices will run into resistance or support. You can see it all over the place. So just based on fib lines, it's no surprise to me that the price of Bitcoin is basically stuttering and fumbling around here at 43,200 because of our group of fib lines. We could even say the same thing here about 48 because of those here at 52. And the interesting thing is that when we add the TBO, we're going to see some of these line up. So Bitcoin does look good. It really does. RSI is looking strong. I'm happy with what I'm seeing. Even though this may look like garbage to you, it's too many lines. I get it. But it really does look good. I just want to make sure that I'm not super pumping you up right now and making you feel like, oh, this is it. This is it. I'm going to take like a 50x long. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we are looking good right now, but this could change too. But so far, it's looking good. Okay. I'm still watching Bitcoin dominance. The really interesting thing to me right now is for some reason, Bitcoin dominance is dropping, even though Bitcoin's price is moving up higher. What I was expecting in the video that I posted is that when I see these breakouts, that yes, it does drop. So if we go back to November 1st, 2020, so we can see here, breakout, drop on the end of November. So we go to November 2020. Here we go. So we get breakouts, end of November, BTC dominance drops, and then Bitcoin shoots off, right? So the last time that we saw this happen, Bitcoin had a really nice explosive move. We've also seen it happen before, where it was a nice short-lived move. It was good, but it wasn't great. So we've only seen one breakout here, and now we're seeing this drop. I hope it's just a temporary drop, but I really want to see Bitcoin dominance move up higher, because the higher it moves, the higher BTC can go. Ethereum is looking great as well. And today, for this daily candle, we are in the process of closing not only a cross up, but also an open long, which is exciting. But I can't take this as confirmed until the close. So we still have 21 hours left in this daily candle. And there's a chance that this might not actually show an open long. But still, it's pretty good. If we go to a faster time frame, like the 4 hour, this is looking really nice. We have some breakouts here, and I mean, everything looks pretty good, to be honest. We've broken out of our overhead trend line, same as BTC. It's just not showing anything amazing yet. Once we get back up here to 32K, that's going to be a test for Ethereum. And then after that, it's just off to the races. I know that there are some big improvements coming for Ethereum, which is really exciting, but it's still a couple months out, and anything can happen between now and then. That's for sure. Okay. So I want to talk about, and I have a couple of these charts up here. I want to talk about something else, which is let me check the time. Perfect. Okay. Which is over here on Discord. So one of the cool things I have over here in the Better Traders Club is we have these, which are the TBD signals. TBD stands for the better dip. So these better dip signals are essentially, they're generated by alerts. And when the alerts are triggered, it lets us know when a good dip buy opportunity could be. And there's a specific way to trade these, where you take profit initially and you let the rest ride. But you do use a stop loss, and you're supposed to move up your stop loss after hitting the first take profit target. So I'm sharing this with you because I want you to check the date. This is for Bitcoin. So we got an alert basically on Bitcoin at 38,976. So checking the chart for BTC, I mean, that's a pretty good buy, 38,976, and that's only the most recent one. So that one alone, we're up 9%. That's nothing, because some of these have some better entries. Some of these are really, really great. And I actually want to show you some of these on the chart live. So these are all the signals here for Bitcoin. So sometimes it does trigger up high, but the nice thing about this is that even though this one is here, once you get the alert, and if you can trade it right away, it does hit 4%. So once it falls down, you would have got stopped out in break even. There will be there will be alerts that are generated in inopportune places, like here, here, and here. It just keeps falling. It's frustrating to take those, but the reality is that even if you just take it and then you just wait and hold, you would still be up. So this is the only one where you're underwater. Everything else, though, you're doing just fine. So the point of these is longer term swing trades, to be alerted on dips like this. We use it in tandem with lots of other things, but these ones have been really fun to use because it gives us a nice little trade, and it's also a good accumulation price. So we have it for lots and lots of trading pairs, like for Litecoin, BTC, where these are nice little itty bitty trades. These are nice little moves. And also for EOS, these are just a couple. This is more realistic, where it's not like huge mega moves. It's just making these nice little jumps, little good dips to buy. EOS has pumped recently, and this one did a pretty great job of catching a good 4%. Gets stopped out, break even. Here it gets stopped out, so that's fine, it happens. And then this one called the bottom perfectly, and that one is up 16% currently. It's pretty good. So these signals are manual trading signals. They're active trading signals. So you'll have to pay attention to this channel and unmute or mute the channels that you want to be notified of. So if you want to get everything, like all messages for BTC, like I do, then every single message, I'm going to get a message. Every single alert, I will be notified on Discord, which is awesome, which is exactly what I want. So let me take a look at some of these comments, and I'll see. I think there's one question from Satronaut. So can a trailing take profit TTP prevent a wick from taking profit? Yes, it can. It depends on a couple of things. So I've had this happen to me too, and it's really frustrating, especially as a 3 commas ambassador, like the guy talking about it. And then when a smart trade trailing take profit doesn't work, it's like, but no, like this means it's happening to other people. So it does happen. It typically happens on charts where there is lower volume compared to like BTC. If the price hits your trailing take profit target and then immediately drops down, like hits it on the nose, it may not trigger it. There's just, I don't have a really good explanation, but the answer is yes, it can happen, which is why it's always really a good idea to use split targets to split up your sell orders on 3 commas and then use trailing for the last one. I do that pretty much all the time. So that way I secure profit, like pretty much 80% of my trade is secured in profit, and then the last 20% or 10% will be trailing take profit, and then that way I'll get a little bit more if it decides to keep moving up higher. But yeah, it can happen. Cool. Well, this is a good time for me to stop before my voice gets all crackly and stuff, but I hope that everybody is doing well and staying healthy and enjoying this nice bullish momentum. Just make sure to protect your trades in profit. Don't get super excited. Be careful, resist the urge to put your your target profit, your take profit, like 80 to like 100%. No. Don't do that. If anything, just take profit at like 10-20% or so, and then let the rest ride, and then you can just wait. But make sure that you protect your trade with the stop loss in the green, so that way, if, I'm not saying when, but if the market decides to just take a dump, then your trades will be closed out in profit. Even if it's not as high as it was before, at least you're securing some profit. You're securing some gains in there. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.